Oh, my ovaries.
Blood coming out of her, wherever.
We're on the blob. Oh baby, we're on the blob. Hello my internet family and welcome back for another episode of PMS Party. We're back on the red bed and I've got my cup of coffee with a little party umbrella because it just makes it feel more like a party and not like a shitstorm, let's be real. The response to the first episode of this was so positive, and for all of you guys who are wondering why I'm talking funny, if you don't watch my other series, it's because I have a temporary denture in my mouth. I am so sorry if it's annoying. That on top of my PMS meltdowns this month, the bloating, the spots, the stress of finishing writing my book, I've handed in to the publisher now. It's not good, it's not good. The PMS was in overdrive this month, guys, and I now have my period, so it's all out of the way, but the last 2 weeks, they were not fun. So yeah, if you're new to this series, basically this is where we all get together once a month and chat through all things period and PMS related, the kind of things that we can't, or we feel like we can't talk about with other people. So let's jump right in with the monthly craving. So because I lost another tooth this month, I am doing my best to minimize sugar, and in my head I was like, right, well, when I get my period cravings, I'm just gonna go batshit mad and eat whatever I want. But funnily enough, I didn't really have a sweet craving this month. It was savoury, of the savoury variety, and I think that's because I haven't been having the sugar dips or whatever. I don't know, it's weird. If you are not a walking potato like me, I am from Ireland, you will not have heard of Tato cheese and onion crisps, and there's another brand that are called King. Both are great, but these are my fave, and oh my god, these are absolutely addictive and delicious, and I have been craving Tato sandwiches, which is something that a lot of us Irish children get brought up on. So you get 2 slices of white bread, some grass-fed butter, and then some crisps, and what you do is you layer some crisps onto one side of the bread, get the other side, and then you smush them together for that amazing noise. And the noise when you eat it, it's so relaxing. It gives me ASMR vibes. I had a jolly old time reading your comments on what you guys crave last month. So do let me know again in the comments this time. I remember one girl said that she craves like pickles right from the jar and like all sorts of stuff. I was just like, bleh. One girl said she only craves fruit, and I am very jealous of this girl. So most of you will already know that I'm letting you guys choose the topics for the Let's Talk segments of these videos. One of the suggestions from you guys was about getting horny on your period and what to do about it and why does it happen. I mean, quite a few people commented about that, and I was just like, yes, why? It happens to me so bad. Now my PMS lasts for about 2 weeks, typically half of the month. Bloody great. And I do notice a very obvious pattern with my libido throughout the month. So after I get my period, I have no interest, and then like 2 weeks in, ovulation happens, and like, because biologically it makes no sense to get horny when you're bleeding, because when your body's most primed to make the babies, it's usually 2 weeks before you even start your period. But I know I'm not alone because I've played you know that game Would You Rather? So I played that with some friends during university over lunch one time, and I remember the subject of like sex on the period came up and people were like, no! They were so shocked that I said that I'd done it, and I was like, is there something wrong with me? But then some of the other girls in the group said that they get like the most horny on their period. Here's the thing though, when you're single like me, drives you a little bit up the wall, because when you're with someone you have sex on tap, and then when you're alone you're just like, no. Yes, I know that single people can have sex too. I don't really like, not that I don't like it, but I don't go out of my way to sleep with like random people that I don't know, because actually I don't know why. Like, I am absolutely not slut shaming or anything of that nature. It's just for me to get to that physical nakedness and mental nakedness, because sex is just nakedness of the mind. It's all about it takes a lot for me to trust someone enough for that, and that makes this topic a whole lot more bittersweet for me. But in saying that, I have a lot of experience in long-term relationships, and I have a lot of experience with having to or wanting to have sex on my period. So yeah, when we're ovulating, which is a couple of weeks before we actually bleed from our fannies, that's like when our bodies are being driven the most to have sex, because that's when you're most likely to fall pregnant, which correlates obviously with the horniness levels. But yeah, there's a few theories about why you would get really horny when your body isn't like at its optimal level for pregnancy. One theory is that right before your period and during your period you have more like discharge, and then obviously there's the blood and stuff, and when things get all wet down there it can just increase arousal levels, makes you more sensitive. Another theory is that you retain water in and around your pelvic region, and I know water retention can be really annoying, but apparently it can create pressure that like presses on your G-spot area, which, you know, leads to some nice feelings. It's that kind of mild stimulation that's just there all day, just like slightly just Another theory is about the shift in our hormones. So our hormones are all over the place, gang. Now, I am no scientist in hormones, but one thing I do know is that every woman is different, and the balance of hormones in people's bodies are different because of lifestyle factors. So that might explain why some women get aroused and turned on when they're all bloodied, and some women are just like, get off me. And then I don't know, I've always found that orgasm for me helps my cramps to like go away, and you know, there's like natural lubrication. Basically, my research stated that arousal isn't clinical and it like varies from person to person, and that it's completely normal to want to have sex when you're on your period. And that takes me to like the actual act itself. I have received a lot of questions about having sex when you're bleeding. I hope I'm not the only one who's experienced the whole go get a towel, but just make sure it's not a white towel, not the white one. Here's the thing, it is perfectly valid if your partner is grossed out by blood and doesn't want to engage in any kind of sexual behavior during your period. I think that's valid, it's fine. I know people who are genuinely kind of afraid of period blood, like, you know, and because you cannot get annoyed at somebody if they don't want to do something or whatever, you know. But at the same time, just because someone is willing to or enjoys doing it during that time of the month, it doesn't mean that they have some kind of fetish. But also, if they have a fetish, that's fine as well. Periods are completely natural, and people can't kind of control when they're going to want to have sex and when they're not going to want to have sex. And another thing is, like, nowadays, people in relationships, like a lot of people in long distance relationships or people who kind of have busy working lives, a lot of the time, you know, say even Valentine's Day, like what if that lines up with when you're on your period and you're staying in a really fancy hotel? Are you just not going to do it because there's a bit of blood there? I mean, so that's why I've always thought it's okay. It's completely okay. And in my experience, if it's with a guy, it's kind of nice for if they wear a condom, just so that you don't feel like mentally that they're getting it all up in the crevices. And then like just have a towel down and kind of, it just really helps. It helps cramps and it helps alleviate the poor pining for the D. If you're a lesbian or you're bisexual and dating a woman, clitoral stimulation and stuff like that is fine, because obviously you're not going to get it anywhere near the blood. Even if you're just masturbating, that's okay too. And actually I would recommend doing that during your time. One thing I should say is that if you know you're expecting it, just make sure that you have kind of warned your partner, because I did have one experience where so someone was going down on me and it just happened, and then the big smiling proud face was smeared with I'm going to move on, but you catch my drift. It's just not a nice surprise for anyone. For this month's bloody Q&A, I thought I would answer all of the frequently asked questions I got last month. So instead of picking specific questions, I wanted to clear up the FAQs, but from now on we will be doing the Q&As over on my Twitter, so do follow me on there. So an awful lot of my younger viewers asked me what age is it normal to get your period at, and I started at 11, and I think 11 to 14 is quite average, but some girls do definitely get it younger, and it can happen older than that. So don't be hung up on whether, like, if you haven't gotten it yet and all your friends have it, it's okay. I think, was I 11 or 12, something like that, and I didn't know what a period was. I hadn't had the talk, so it was just a horror story. A lot of you guys said that you're irregular, and since I came off the contraceptive pill, mine have been quite irregular too. And you were asking, how can you tell if you're going to get your period if you don't have, you know, the set day that you always get it? And I just go by my body. Like, you can read your body like a book. Typically your breasts will become more tender and like a little bit sore. Like, the idea of giving someone a hug or anyone like suckling on them is just like makes you want to break things. You might be cranky and kind of snappy at your family. I get like that. You might experience constipation. You could just get like a few extra pimples, having a bloated belly, feeling a little bit down and kind of temporarily depressed as well, and also having a huge appetite. They're all ways to kind of tell that it's on its way. A lot of you guys asked me how long do my periods last for and how long is a normal amount of time, and I think anywhere between 2 and 6 days is quite average. Right now mine are about 4 days, but I had like this friend in secondary school who her period would last 2 weeks every month, 2 entire weeks, and I don't know if there was something wrong with her, but that was for like most of our friendship when we were younger. So I don't know, I know some guys think it's absolutely horrific that we have to bleed for 6 days. For a lot of us, 6 days out of every month, and yeah, it kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, if we didn't menstruate, there would be no human race, because we only bleed because that's our bodies kind of like every month getting ready to make babies. Some of you guys also asked about the color of your period blood, if it's like brown instead of bright red, and that's normal too. I think if it's brown, it means that it's just coming out slower, so it kind of like goes through this process of like, is it oxidation, or like, think about the way when you put certain foundations onto your hand or your face and they go orange over a certain amount of time. I think it's a similar process to that. Imagine if I was getting all this completely wrong. No, I'm so certain of that, because I was definitely told that by someone, because I worked with a couple of brands for like, you know, sanitary towels and stuff in the past, and I had like Q&As with the people who like own the companies. I think I'm right about that. I was surprised by this, but a few of you asked me, is it possible to like artificially delay your period? And like, no. Like, there's all these stupid rumors like, just take a bath, it will stop it from coming out. Like, no, like if you're on a contraceptive pill, you can like fiddle around with the way you take it to delay or whatever, but I found that in my own experience doing that really messed me up. Like, I was on a trip only a few months ago, a sexy time trip, and I started my next pill packet when I should have taken the few days break for the time of the month and stuff, and oh my god, I just kept crying. I got so emotional, like all the feels were just coming in waves, and I wouldn't advise it. Just embrace it, do the things I told you earlier, just do the sex anyway, if it's a problem, and if it's that you want to wear a bikini or whatever. And then I want to finish up with a little tip if you're on your period or you have PMS, and that is this month just to simply go for a 60-minute walk every single goddamn day, especially if you have your period. And I know that when you are in the midst of having it, you don't want to move, you just want to stay snuggled up in a ball and stuff like that, but I promise you, if you get moving, it really helps the pain. I don't know what it is, but it helps my mood as well. And you have to like force yourself to do it. It doesn't come naturally to want to do it, even for me. But definitely the next time you're experiencing it, just go on a long walk on your own with your headphones, listen to music, fucking pound out that walk, and just assess how you feel afterwards, and let me know if it helps you at all. So yeah, that was this month's PMS party, guys. I hope you had a ball and give it a like if you liked it, because that really helps more people to find my videos. And I'll see you in another video in a few days time. Bye guys.